We're live. Keeps yakking away. I'm like 5, 4, 3.
Oh, I'm still
in by the hair of his chin.
I am still riding the high of the game that I was at.
Are you? I thought you managed to calm down when you and the Windsor coaches had a little powwow afterwards.
Oh, the Wilton coaches. We had a little powwow after the game, just chatting. We were talking. They were asking about scores. We were talking about teams across the state. I was like, oh, maybe there's a path for Wilton to be number one. They all looked at me. They're like, please don't say that. But
tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the 2025 season went boom. Finally, a really wild, absolutely just a great night of football. And it didn't feel like it. You know, my game was good. I wanted to see Amity versus Guilford. Guilford 6-1, now 7-1 after beating Amity 15-13.
Great win for the Grizzlies.
Lots of upsets or near misses, and lots of people are teams are starting to fail, or they're starting to crash. It's like everything is happening now. So much stuff's going on. We're going to get to all of it. Pete, we're going to start with you. Not much to talk about. Your second 7-3 game of the season.
This one was wildly more exciting than the St. Joe's New Canaan one.
Well, let them have it. You know, what was number 3 Greenwich now?
Number 3 Greenwich and number 6 Wilton.
Way too low, Wilton. I even picked them in the pick.
You were the only one. You and the 8 ball.
I felt something. I mean, come on, look at Greenwich. They were really kind of sucking wind against Ludlow, and Wilton must have been like this. Let's go. I mean, still, it was tight late. Greenwich had a 3-0 lead late. What happened?
Wilton went back to their bread and butter. Calabrese and Denny Dustin, and they
weren't doing that all game.
No, so it was weird. They kind of went away from it in the first half because Greenwich's defense is really good, and they played really well in the game, and they were kind of stuffing it on the inside. Wilton, I think, might have thrown more passes in the first half than they have all season. They completed some good ones. They made some good plays, but they couldn't really crack the Greenwich defense. While on the other side, the Wilton defense was playing amazing. Greenwich was able to move the ball more. But they weren't able to punch it in. 2 missed field goals by Greenwich that were very close. One hit the uprights, and one was a little bit to the left. Wilton missed a field goal. Greenwich tried a fake field goal that missed. The pass wasn't completed. And it was just a crazy game. Greenwich gets the field goal late. Wilton returns the kickoff 80 yards to the 11. Oh. And you're like, here we go. Charlie Calabrese. I love Charlie Calabrese. So after the game, he's like, we don't have to talk about this, right? First play right after that throws a pick. And Greenwich, that's when Greenwich went, and Greenwich was able to move the ball down the field. They weren't able to score. Wilton got the ball back, and then it was kind of like, all right, no more passing plays the rest of the game. And they just ran the ball. Denny Dustin comes through with the touchdown. It was going to be him or Calabrese, everyone knew. And he scored to make it 7-3. Greenwich gets the ball. They go right down the field on the final drive. Couple of big runs by
like a minute left, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, they moved quick, and they got within striking range. They threw a pass with 5 seconds left. Jack Kelly, he had it. The defender was on, and the ball hits the ground. Game over. And it was just bedlam at Wilton. Everyone's running on the field. They do the handshake. Everything was great. EJ, Coach D'Annunzio, was ready to do his little team thing, and all of a sudden the fans just spill out onto the field. And I'm standing there with Jeff Jacobs, and all of a sudden Jeff and I are just in the middle of it. Yeah. I'm getting pushed. He's getting pushed. I got my camera up in the air, hoping to get some good footage. Then it was trying to find the guys. It was just chaos. It was just absolute chaos at the end of the game. But one thing, and I'm going to ask Danny to pull it up in a couple of seconds. Dennis Dustin, I couldn't find him at the end of the game because he took his jersey and shoulder pads off at that point. And he was talking to people. I'm looking around. I'm like, where is this kid? Because I've interviewed him a couple of times. I've seen him, but we know a lot of these guys about their jersey numbers.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around. I'm like, please don't tell me he left. But I finally found him. Danny, throw it up. Denny Dustin repping the Dennis the Menace t-shirt. I was like, dude, I got to take a picture of you because I loved it.
Love it.
He said he recently got it, obviously after the Staples game when Charlie Calabrese called him Dennis the Menace. And I had to ask, I was like, dude, do you even like know the comic? Do you know the show, the movie, nothing? And he said he reads the comic at his great grandma's house. They have like the little comic things. Yeah, that's what he said. So,
oh, but the old books,
the old, like
Yeah.
the OG.
He doesn't read them
Dennis the
now. I don't
Menace.
think they do them now.
Yeah, but like
Okay,
he knows what
that.
it is. And I was joking with Coach D'Annunzio after, and I'm like, I don't even think some of these kids even know who Dennis the Menace is. Like, I think Charlie Calabrese like came up with Dennis the Menace in his head and thinks that he like invented it.
Yeah.
But because like Dennis the Menace is so old. But I just wanted to show that photo.
I
I loved it. It was great. It was awesome. I mean, it was such a good football game. Like
a good 7-3 game. That's why I like it.
It was an entertaining 7-3 game. They moved the ball, they punted, there was missed field goals, there was great defense, there were big plays, there was a pass interference call on Wilton's final drive. They had him 4th and 6, Wilton threw, and they called pass interference on a Greenwich defender, new set of downs, and that's when they were able to punch it in. But other than that, I mean, Greenwich took some costly penalties like they have all year. And it was just a really good game. I'm like on a cloud of like just like a really good high school football game. And
Awesome.
It was awesome. I have no idea what else happened in the state. Like I've seen some scores, but like I don't know what happened in your game.
Well, my game was kind of a defensive struggle. Guilford, I'm not going to get too much into it. There's a lot we got to get to right now, but defensive struggle. But the Aries Vasilou kicked a pair of field goals, and his second one late in the third quarter was a line drive 38-yarder that just cleared the uprights. I thought he missed it, and they were able to run, and then they stopped Amity. They did a really nice job on Christian Luciano, who had 2 touchdowns. But he only had like. Couldn't have been 58 yards rushing. He had more receiving yards this week than rushing, and Guilford's defense locked him down. And Aiden Rutolo just ran the clock out. Some punishing runs, got 4 straight first downs. They ran the last 7 minutes off, and that was it. Guilford was battling not just Amity, but they were also in their minds at least. And there might have been a few iffy ones, but there were some calls that went against. They had a touchdown called back, a beautiful pass, but it was called offensive pass interference. And there are a few other things that they were just, Coach White, just like Brian was like, what am I doing here? But there was a safety that Rutolo blocked the punt that turned into the safety that ended up being the winning margin of the game. Otherwise, it would have been a 13-13 game. So,
13-12. 13-13.
It was 13-10, and then they got the 2 points, got within 1, and then they kicked the field goal later on. But that block punt right before the half, it was a jailbreak. They just went for the Gus. Only 40 seconds left to go in the half, and they just went for it. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be good. And sure enough, just overwhelmed. Had a shot at the touchdown, couldn't, but Rutolo couldn't track it down and went out of bounds. The ref calls touchdown. First they go touchback, then they confer, and then they go touchdown. And I'm watching the Guilford guys run off the field. They're like celebrating touchdown, and all of a sudden you hear the PA guy goes, it was called a safety. I go, wait, what? So maybe the ref's not on their game tonight, but no, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, there was a weird play, because I don't want to give away too much because we're obviously gonna have Monday show and there's gonna be a package for his game, but. Tarantino had this big run against Greenwich he was like fake the handoff and took it himself.
Yeah.
And the refs blew the play dead because they were paying attention to the running back who did not have the ball. And Tarantino was about 30 yards up the field and they blew the play dead. He stopped, then got body slammed to the ground.
I think Masick was Benel and that. I think Benel Masick.
And they gave Greenwich the spot where Tarantino finished. But I think he could have scored, but it was interesting. And then there was when Greenwich ran the fake field goal, because I'm a moron. Greenwich ran the fake field goal through Wilton took over at the 5. I'm like, if you miss a field goal, you have to start from where it was kicked. And I'm like looking around, does anyone else notice this? And then I took a breath and I go, oh yeah, they threw the ball.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? I think in high school,
No, it's not the line of scrimmage. It's where the ball is kicked from.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway,
right.
I was like losing my mind.
Lots happened tonight. So let's kind of go through this. Let's start with the top 10 because that's where all the carnage happened. I got to actually find our top 10 rankings, and there they are. All right. Let's start. We started off with yours. Greenwich, number 3 ranked, loses to Wilton 7-3, or Wilton beats number 6. Wilton beats number 3 Greenwich 7-3. Pete was at that game. Wow. Wilton's still unbeaten. They are 8-0. They got St. Joe left, and they finished with the Hill House. So be there next week, Wilton, St. Joe. That'll be fun. In the earlier game today, number 7 ranked Hand beat Fairfield Prep. They're ranked tied for 4th. Was not a good night for the tie 4s. You want to break this tie? Here we go. Both lose. Let's break the tie anyway. A Hand, they beat Fairfield Prep 20-17. The score was not indicative of it. Hand was in control pretty much. They were up 13-10 at the half, and then they scored in the third quarter, and they were up 20-10. Prep scores a late touchdown. Robert Manny to Jeremiah Langston. They actually hooked up twice for touchdowns. But Luca Boyd scored a couple touchdowns, and Stone Leckie caught a touchdown from Bobby Ray. And Hand continues to roll. Their only loss, obviously, at Cheshire, which now looks better and better, as Cheshire continues to pile up the wins there. So number 7 Hand defeats tied for 4th Fairfield Prep. In the other tied for 4th game, Windsor. Windsor had not lost since the Class Double M championship last year. Quinn Fleeting, the whole bit. AJ Robinson thrown for 600 yards a game, 300 yards a game. And they scored early. But after that, it was all Southington. Sophomore Ben Bowley ran for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Knights, who I was stomping on their grave 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. The injuries piling up. They lost their quarterback. They lost their starting running back. And then the guys would come in here. If this is going to be the way Southington plays, look out for the Knights. They're finally starting to get rolling here.
I reverse jinxed Southington last week. I texted you when I went to the Southington Platte game.
Yeah.
And I said, when years ago when they were like at the top of the state, like you always felt like they were going to win. And I texted you, I was like, that place doesn't look that intimidating anymore. And then they thumped Platte and they thumped Windsor. So You're welcome, Southington. Reverse jinx, courtesy of me.
Awesome job by Southington, which now really kind of cements itself in the Class Double L race. They're only 4-3, but that counts as being cemented in Class Double L. No, I'm sorry, they're 5. What are they? 5-3 now?
Yeah, 5-3 now.
5-3 now. So big win by the Knights. They needed that so bad because it was open season on them early at least. They lost that.
I mean, look, there are 3 losses though. Glastonbury, who beat Maloney tonight. St. Joe's, and Southington played very well in that game. Again, Southington played very well against St. Joe's, and their other loss was to New Britain,
who's now suddenly the number 1 ranked team in Class Double L. I mean, we still got games to play that don't hold me to that, but
if it ended right now, they'd be welcoming Anyway, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we're already getting way far. All right. Your boys, Killingly, number 2, Killingly, whooped up on NFA 63-27.
They allowed 27 points. Was that in the second half?
Just can't please this guy. Just can't please him.
Public enemy number 1.
And if they're gonna have to start making T-shirts of you, NFA, Pete, I don't know what you guys want to do, man. I'm with you, Killingly. I mean, come on. Anyway,
I've never said they weren't a good team. I've never said they weren't a good team. They're a very good team.
I know you haven't. It's just you seem like you really like this. Twist the knife. And I,
Someone
Anyway.
DM'd us and was like about the pick'ems. They're like, of course Pete's in last place. He doesn't like Killingly. I'm like, I pick Killingly every time they're in the picks and they win for me. So it's
picks are
not
kind of a
Killingly that's
reflection.
tanking me.
The picks are kind of a reflection of, what you think or what you know about what's going on. And I've been like this all season long.
I've been
It's been a fun roller coaster ride. All right. We got to get back to this. Okay. New Canaan, the number 1 ranked team, without Coach Lou Marinelli in his first game he's ever missed on the sidelines of New Canaan in his 40-something years as head coach, 43. He's been there since 1981. Yeah. Statement said he'd be back. He just had some medical issue or that he had to deal with, and so Chris Silvestri took over. I mean, that's as good as a head coach anyway. I mean, Chris does a whole lot for them. So, I'm sure it was obviously in good hands. They beat Staples 28-0. No, I mean, their defense, it's been really between them and St. Joe, and they got the win over St. Joe. So, best defense in the state. Let's start that up.
Oh, I have a story for that later at the end of the show. Let's get through all the scores though first.
All right. So that was that. So Windsor goes down to Southington 28-7. Wilton and St. Joe was going to play Ludlow tomorrow. So they are off right now. And do we have our New Britain score yet? The answer versus Platt.
The answer is no, but the New Britain High School football Facebook page is in the chat. Do you guys have a score? I think we were there, but there's no score on the CIAC yet. No, I don't see anything on Twitter either.
No, I didn't see anything there. All right. I would assume they won they're on Facebook and they're here.
Yeah, 49-14 says someone.
Okay.
But I don't. It's not
that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense that they.
Does anyone know? Did Jaden Allen play? I'd like to know that. I mean, sure it was fine. That's what they said. At least.
According to 49-14, New Britain High School. How many yards did Jaden Allen rush for? New Britain High School football.
No, he did not.
No, he did not. Oh, no.
Well, good. I mean, you're going to win that big and you don't need him. That's great. I mean, hopefully he's okay.
But let him rest.
Okay,
let him rest, and you still get the win.
Yeah,
Wilton won. New Britain won, and Staples lost. That's the top 10.
Now, no, he did not. Okay, thank you. You guys are the best. Okay, you guys are leading Class Double L, so Heavy's the head that wears the number 1 ranking, Class Double L.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we?
We went through the top 10 now.
Okay, we did do the top 10. All right, let's go with the rest of the scores here. Some of the craziness that happened. Glastonbury 33.
Water. I'm gonna go get water out of my fridge. I'll be right back.
Okay, Glastonbury 33, Maloney 20. Dante Castilla had a couple touchdowns, and they just absolutely rolled the Spartans, who have now lost 2 straight, and they have sunk a bit. Let's take a quick look at that. And again, you don't look at the standings now, but Maloney is right now. I mean, is below the line. They're at number 11 in Class L. Obviously, a lot of scores still yet to come in. Ludlow's playing tomorrow. South Windsor was in a dogfight, right, with East Hartford. That game end yet? Jeez.
We had
yes.
We had a freelancer at that game. Felt very bad for him.
Yeah, South Windsor 60. Jalil Montgomery, another big game, right? South Windsor 60, East Hartford 38. Man, can they score? But man, defense, guys. Hall 37, Manchester 30. As we mentioned, New Britain beat Platt 49-14. Enfield 30, Bristol Central 26. Nothing on Simsbury Conard yet. Berlin still unbeaten, 35-0 over Farmington. E.O. Smith 24, Bristol Eastern 8. And Wethersfield knocks off Middletown convincingly, 35-12. That's a huge win for the Eagles, who should win their next game, and then they got to win that Newington game at the end of the season.
Schedule matters.
Yeah, Middletown is now 6 Yeah, they are. They're 6-2 now, which Farmington and Berlin left. That Berlin game is looking out to be very interesting. Newington and their Wethersfield now put themselves kind of in the mix here in Class Double M. Okay, more scores. That does it for this. Oh no, yeah, it does it for the CCC. We don't have Simsbury Connor right now. In the CTC, Cheney Tech 17, Platt Tech 14. My goodness, that's a big win for Team Benito. And the what are they now? The Chargers?
Chargers,
17-14. Platt Tech. I heard people were like, you got that one wrong last week against Wilcox. Now you guys lost Cheney Tech. So what are you gonna do? All right. Nothing on Bullard Havens and Thames River yet. We mentioned the EC, also in the ECC. We talked about Killingly 63-27. Waterford beats Wyndham 28-12. Nothing yet on a pretty big game in Division 3 and in the Class S race. Griswold Wheeler at Stonington. That started at 6:30. Pipe your scores in. In the FCIAC, Darien 35, Ridgefield 14. Ridgefield's got a chance to move into the standings here. They had put themselves in a good position, but it was like, can they even compete with one of them? Because the last two big FCIAC teams, they didn't score. And this time, Darien takes care of business. Don't count them out just yet. Ridgefield drops down. That's their third loss of the year. They've now lost New Canaan, St. Joe, and Darien. I mean, they're just tough. This was the one you think Ridgefield might be able to get because Darien's been kind of iffy. Not so much in this one. Big moment for Darien, which has now Greenwich next week. Greenwich is desperately going to be, I don't want to say desperately because they're in the Class Double L playoffs, but Darien, and then they got New Canaan after that. So if Darien wants to stick around in Class L, they probably need to. That's huge. Also, that game against Greenwich is huge for Darien. Okay. Elsewhere in the FCIAC, we talked about New Canaan defeating Staples 28-0. That's how many losses is that for Staples now? 2 in a row?
It's
right.
2 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 losses to Wilton, St. Joe, and New Canaan. And the record is they're not going anywhere in Double L. They're in the playoffs, just like Greenwich and Prep and New Britain and all those teams in it. But
Griswold won 34-21, according to
that's a big win for Griswold, 34-21, because they were both in Class S. Let's shift to that real quick. It's not going to update it, but it's a big one for Griswold because they're out there. Both teams are on the outside looking in. And they were below Ansonia, Bloomfield. A lot of these teams aren't going to lose. Sure, East Catholic lost, kind of took them up that last night. East Catholic lost to Rocky Hill. That was a big one for you. You were at that game.
Yeah.
Rallied to beat East Catholic. Now East Catholic's now sitting at 4-4. That kind of knocked them back. Griswold and Stonington, the winner of that one, was going to put itself in position maybe to get that last. There's not a lot of playoff spots left in Class S because Woodland's undefeated. Seymour rallies back tonight. I got to throw that score in here. Rallies back tonight, get to defeat Naugatuck, one late, 33-28.
They were down big too.
They're big. I had a hunch. I wrote in the guide. Seymour showed a little vulnerability, and Nagy's been showing signs of life. Nagy, you can just sense it. And Seymour, barely beat. Who was it a few weeks ago? And you were like, "Wow, how do you?" Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, they're still undefeated. That's the name of the game, man. Just win your games. Cats undefeated. So you know what? It doesn't have to look pretty as long as it's on the right side of the scoreboard. Cromwell, Portland. I think we don't have that score yet.
Well, you skipped the whole NVL though.
Yeah, I know I did. I know, but I'm just looking at S. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the playoffs. It's North Branford. So like my point being is Griswold Wheeler. There's not a lot of teams. There's not a lot of spots open left. Even with Shane losing tonight, did we even talk about that? Yeah,
we haven't gotten to the SEC
yet.
yet.
Not talked that. Yeah, we have not. Anyway, I'm just looking at the playoffs. Northwest Cat. There's not a lot of spots in Class S. Let's put it that way. So Griswold Wheeler winning that game really, it'll reflect it in a little bit. I think they might be, pull in there. And they got East Lyme and the Plainfield Co-op, Plainfield Quinnebog, Valley Panthers, whatever I call them. All right, let's go back. Wilton 7, Greenwich 3. Trouble beat up on McMahon. I don't know the final score, but I know it was on Twitter, X, whatever. It was like 35-6 or something like that. Trumbull gets off the deck. That was a big one for them. Yeah. I mean,
35-6. 35-6. Yeah.
35. That was close, right? Or something like that. 35-6. 2-5. It's not even in there yet, and that kind of puts them on the cusp also in Class Double-L. So Trumbull, you're not out yet. Keep playing.
Yeah, you got New Canaan and St. Joe's though.
Yes, you can't St. Joe left, but hey, yeah, you know, they start playing. All right. That's the FCIAC in the NBL. Oxford 14, Crosby nothing. Oxford's defense is pretty good all year. Torrington 41, Woolkit 12. No score yet on St. Paul Derby. Right?
Nope.
No score yet on that one. And no score on Wilby Kennedy. Does the Waterbury schools begin their chase for the city championship? Yeah. Okay. In the NBL, Ansonia beat up on Watertown 42-0, and of course Seymour defeating Naugatuck, rallying back to defeat Naugatuck 33-28, and they got a late turnover too. So that was big. And then in alliance action, East Line beat Stratford. Stratford was surging, and now they're starting to fade back a bit. East Line needed that one, 17-7. Pete. Final score: Weston 6, Nonawag 41. Nonawag is still undefeated, playing their alliance. They're like the only team in the. If the alliance was a league, they'd be the only team that would qualify for the playoffs because they have all their games are not.
No, them and Amistad.
Oh yeah, same. Well, Amistad hasn't won anything.
No, I know, but they would be competing with them for a league championship.
All right. Well,
it's like Notre Dame.
Not like Notre Dame. They won all the games.
Yeah.
Okay. What Nonawag is? What are they? Class Double-S? Yes. So that keeps them right there. What? I don't want to get. This means nothing, right? I'm gonna just this means nothing at all. But you have Killingly is number 1 ranked right now, points in Class Double-S. Then it's Nonawag, which 7-0. They have to right. They only play. Yeah, they have 3 games left. So
yeah,
Nonawag, Hand, and Law. So right now, if it ended right at this moment, and granted there are games out there still we need to get the results from, and that all affects this stuff. But it's like Law at Killingly and Hand at Nonawag. Good luck, everybody.
Oh my God, Hand traveling to Woodbury to play at Nonawag for a state semifinal. Who would have thought of that?
Oh, that's not the first round though. That'd be like a semi. The first 4.
Yeah, but I'm saying the semifinal. Well, would it be at a neutral site? I don't understand the rules half the time. But Nonawag does play Amistad.
Neutral sites for semis anymore.
Nonawag plays at Amistad for the independent league championship in 2 weeks.
This is not to undersell Ellington 6-1. Obviously, we like Ellington. Ledger's playing well. Right? New Fairfield's in there 5-2. Crack lost tonight. That was a big one. But the teams below them also. I don't know. Let's take. All right. Here we are. More of these Lions games. North Haven finally breaks their losing streak, 35-6 over New London. Notre Dame Prep, I think their losing streak is over.
Yep.
They defeat East Haven 49-7, and West Haven still in the mix in Class Double-L defeats Fitch 39-18. Fitch not done yet, of course, in the class. What's that? Double M, right? Fitch right now it's at 9, although that could change overnight. So those are the scores there. What did I miss anything? Yeah, I missed a bunch. I missed the whole Pequot, of course.
The whole Pequot, the whole SEC and the SWC.
All right, here we go. We keep going. All right. Granby Canton 48, Capital Prep 0. Haddam Killingworth 55, Windsor Locks 12. North Branford, here it is, 54-28. That's a big one because Craig had been having its way.
Huge one for North Branford.
Craig beat
Rockville.
Rockville and Ellington going into the game. And would the T-Birds need this one badly if they're going to get to the playoffs, and they got it. So that's a big one because Craig's got a ton of points for him. Hartford Co-op, that's Weaver and Hartford Public Classical. I just call them the Hartford Co-op. 34, Coventry 0. Carmel Portland, no score yet at SMSA. In the SEC, Cheshire 14, Sheehan 7. Their dominance of the Titans continues. They're now 15-0-1 against Sheehan since 1997. But Sheehan gave it a run, but Aiden Grigorich ran for a touchdown and threw for one. And the Cheshire defense did the rest, 14-7. They have won fifth straight. Sheehan's 5-game losing streak comes to an end, but the Titans, it says here, the Titans will be okay. 4-14, Harding 7. Good win there for the Lions. Mentioned my game, Guilford 15, Amity 13. A game that was a defensive and penalty field struggle in the rain at Johnson Field at Sim Complex. Jonathan Law 31, Hamden 7, and our boys Pete Lyman Hole 29, Brantford 8. That's step 1. You passed this step.
Next week's game.
I don't want to hear any chirping yet because you haven't done anything yet. All right, that's good, Brantford. But Brantford's not the next 2 teams, okay?
Yeah.
You got Guilford next. Guilford is very good. I watched them tonight. The defense, very
That game's going to be awesome next week.
Very good. I mean, this would be for the SEC tier, whatever. There's
3. They were all in tier 3.
I don't believe in tiers.
Yeah. Well, they don't
but I believe the SEC small school. Let's just say the small school division. This is for the championship again, or no? Sheehan probably have something to say about that on Thanksgiving. But yes. Lyman Hall plays Guilford next week. Big game. They defeat Brantford 29-8. Where you been all season, Shelton? Where you been?
Good. Not good, Notre Dame.
Big time, Shelton. I was trying to motivate those guys. Again, couldn't do it against Law. Law's good. I mean, but this was a big one because Shelton 14, Notre Dame West Haven 7. That puts a little bit of crimp in the Notre Dame West Haven plans.
Yeah, the 6-4 run is over.
The 6-4 run, Pete, is over.
Yep.
And now they got.
They're in 10th at 3-5. They got Hillhouse and Hamden to finish out.
Should win them both.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. But
I'm not putting in for granted, but that's a tough one. But Shelton, hey, Shelton played spoiler last year, right?
Yeah.
They beat North Haven at the end. Was that who they played?
No, Prep knocked North Haven out of the playoffs last year.
Was it Prep?
I was at that game.
Oh,
Prep
so who did Shelton beat? West? No, it wasn't West Haven.
No.
Who did Shelton beat last year? Oh, I wish the CIAC had its last year's schedules on here.
Yeah, so much for transparency.
While we're at it, if a game CIAC, if the game gets changed on your weekly scoreboard, please leave the original up to say it's been changed. Don't just disappear it.
Yeah, we're just deleting history.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like, guys, I know it looks nice and flashier, but like the information here, I got to go on Max Preps. And what if Max Prep caves? CIAC will.
The history of the CIAC will go away.
I mean, I know they keep it in like lock and key and like filing cabinets or PDFs, but the thing that drives me nuts is that if a game and the weekly scoreboard we can see all the games, which is what I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
If someone changes the game, there's no mention of it. I don't get an email, I don't get a text, nothing.
Yeah.
And they go, wait, wasn't that game supposed to be played? Yeah, well, here's what happened.
Yeah. The old system was so much better. Anyway.
Yeah, when we can post scores too. That was another nice thing we could do.
Yeah.
But now we got our
all right. Last game of the SEC.
Oh, right. Oh, last one. Xavier 28, Hillhouse 21 is the last one of the SEC. So Xavier wins. Good job by them. Those are 2 former heavyweights just trying to make it back. So Xavier wins that round. In the SWC, Brookfield 50, New Milford 21, Bunnell 32, Pomp-Rock 13. Your boy Roddy Ricketts scored every touchdown in that game. And it was close. I mean, Pomp-Rock showed up, just it's too much Roddy. All Roddy all the time. In the Tarantino Bowl, Newtown 57, Bethel Zip. Not a shock there. So hopefully everyone was nice and behaved and weren't yelling at each other. And being pains in the rear end. So 57-0 though. Bethel will be back. He's good. He did a really good job last year there. They'll be back. They just gotta get moving again. I don't have a mask score on Barlow. Anyone on that one?
No.
I don't see anything. That's it. Those are the scores. Lots of stuff happened.
So much happened.
If you may just joining us, here's some of the craziness that happened. Wilton defeated Grant 7-3. Hand defeated Fairfield Prep 20-17. Luca Boyce 2 touchdowns. Southington knocked off tied number 4 Windsor 28-7. That's the first loss on the young career of Mr. Quinn Fleeting. But sophomore Ben Bolio ran for 3 touchdowns, 150 yards. Southington back from the dead. Love to see it. Great job. I mean, that's Windsor was averaging 46 points a game. Could only muster 7 here. So that's a little look in the mirror time. I think they'll be fine. Elsewhere, Cheshire defeated Sheehan 14-7. Your boys from Killingly went wild, Pete. Any just overall, we're coming down the stretch here. This is should be a fun show on Monday, but we're coming down the stretch. We got some games tomorrow. We got St. Joe, obviously Ludlow 11 a.m. Be there, be square. Other games to look out for. Ledger at Woodstock Academy is interesting. Woodstock's not bad. Ledger's trying to play for a playoff spot. Other than that, really not a lot to write home about. Wilcox Caner Tech versus the ATI is, I guess, kind of for a share of the CTC title or something like that. But those are the big ones. That's the big one. The big one, obviously, Ludlow at St. Joe. Is Ludlow going to be okay enough to fend off the Hogs at Dollar Field? I don't know.
Not that defense. That defense is so good.
What else we got? Any questions out there? Not counting Brookfield out. Did I see that? Did not count.
Yeah, they haven't. Look, Brookfield's a good team. They have good players, but here's who they beat: Watertown 1-7, Pomperaug 4-4, Barlow 3-4, 4-3-5, Notre Dame Prep 5-3, New Milford 1-7. We like Brookfield, but they got blown out by Hand. They got blown out by Newtown. Those are the 2 big games. They lost both of them. So they got Weston and Bethel left. Yeah. They're gonna go 8-2 with wins over maybe one team that finishes over 500.
Everybody should be in the Class M, just by the way, who's in the running, should be sending Tony Benito a Christmas card or send something or send them thank you notes to knock Platt Tech out of the running. For now, they got to play VG Titans, who are winless, and they got to play Bullard Havens left. So they should beat those 2 teams, although who knows? I mean, but Cheney Tech knocking it off. Platt Tech kind of drops them out a little bit. A lot. Holy Cross last night just didn't have it against Woodland. I mean, their great quarterback, Brady Lombardo, was knocked from the game early. Hopefully he's okay. I think it was just precaution, but he did get sandwiched. It was a real hard hit. In Woodland, just, Ian Pringle went wild in that game. What's that?
In Class M, it's St. Joe's. It's just St. Joe's. It's just theirs. It's theirs to lose.
Oh, you're talking about that now. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, you're saying in Class M, people need to send out gifts.
Oh, well, I'm just talking about getting into the playoffs.
I'm
talking about getting in. Like, I mean, I'll give you an example. I was talking about Holy Cross. They're now in, again, there's lots of points still out there for this week. So this isn't official for the week. But Holy Cross now, okay, because Platt Tech was as high. I think they were like 4 or 5 in the rankings. And you were looking at it, you're like, I don't think they're going to lose again. But then Channing Tech knocks them off. So now you have Notre Dame Prep, which is on the outside looking in. Brantford lost. They were just on the outside looking in. Now it's all I'm saying is that now with Platt Tech dropping out, there's just another spot there. Because this is a division that all has they're only 1, 2, 3, 4 1-loss teams. 8-0 Berlin, then 5-2 St. Joe, which is like ranked 2 right now.
Yeah,
because they've just played everybody and beaten everybody. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Well, their strength to schedule is 275. The next closest is 190. Strength to schedule matters, despite what people think.
Yeah, the teams that St. Joe played this year, they've combined one. They have 120 points.
Every team that they've played is over 500. Every team left on their schedule is over 500, but Trumbull.
Yeah. So Holy Cross,
while we're talking about M, the Lyman Hall Guilford game next week, I cannot stress how important that game is going to be. Yeah. Because if you don't want to look ahead, but Guilford has Hand, who they have not beaten on Thanksgiving in a very long time. Sheehan Lyman Hall has Sheehan, who they have not beaten on Thanksgiving for a while.
Yeah.
So, like,
2 Thanksgiving turkeys.
it's a must win for both those teams next week.
Right. The winner.
Must win.
I mean,
the loser might still get in if whoever loses that game and goes 7-3. They probably still get in. But I think if you win again, you're the math guy here. Out of the two of us,
you start making plans.
Yeah.
You lose.
Like if you win next week.
Guy scoreboard watch just a little bit.
Yeah. I think they'll both be fine, but it's a difference between maybe a home game.
Right.
Guilford's currently sitting at 3. Waterbury Career is sitting at 4, and they have Seymour next week. But their game against Gilbert's not even in yet, so I don't know what that's going to do. Yeah.
Anyway, what else you got?
Well, it was funny at the end of the Wilton game. All the kids start running over. I got the camera after the handshake line, and they're all yelling at the cameras, nothing bad or anything, but like all this stuff. And Charlie Calabrese comes over, points them all away. He goes, "We're not saying anything. Everybody go over there. We don't want to curse ourselves." So I was interviewing after the game, and I'm like, what did you mean by that? And he goes, "My sophomore year, when we went to the state finals, it was all best defense in the state. Remember the running thing of everyone had the best defense in the state?"
Yeah.
I thought it was very funny. He remembered that, and he's like, "We're not doing that." He goes, "No, we're not saying anything."
Come on,
I kind of liked it. I respected. I respected the move, but they have a huge one against St. Joe's next Friday.
Yeah, man, St. Joe's, they're confident too. That game. Oof. What is that game? Please tell me that's Saturday.
Friday, 6:30 at Wilton. So I'm gonna be honest with you, Sean.
Yeah.
One of us is going to that one, I think, and one of us is going to Guilford Lyman Hall.
Yeah. It might be me at Guilford Lyman Hall. You're riding the Wilton train. If I switch up and you lose. I've been to 2 Amity games. I don't think they ever want to see me back in that town. They lost both. I text George on the way. I'm joking. Oh, awesome. Can't wait to see. He's like, and then I was focused and he's trying to get my attention before the anthem. And I'm like, oh, yeah. But now it's like, get Bowley out of there, man. He's bad luck. Okay. So those anyway, let me run it down one more time, I guess, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
We
still have to do our reels for anyone wondering where the Wilton Greenwich video is. I'm currently doing this.
Yeah. Well, Miami. So mine should be by midnight. No. 1 o'clock in the morning. If you're looking for Amity Guilford, you have to wait a little while. I'm not nearly as fast as Pete.
I gotta go to bed.
Just last night, again, getting back to that Woodland. I was about to talk about them undefeated. That Seymour Woodland game, man, ooh, that's gonna be fun. Although if I'm Seymour, we got some work to do because a great comeback. Nagy was looking for a signature win going into next year, and they had him almost, but not quite. So that should be a really good game. And then let's see. And then last night you were at Rocky Hill. 13, East Catholic 12. That might have knocked East Catholic out of the running there. But,
honestly, that was a fun game. 13-12. Obviously Rocky Hill was pumped up. Dude, they're very young. A lot of sophomores.
Yeah.
A lot of sophomores. It was cool. It was cool to see Coach Richard dance for the first time. Talked to him on the phone so many times, never met him. So it was cool.
Let's run it down. In the CCC, Glastonbury knocked off Maloney 33-20. Dante Castilla had a couple touchdowns. Hall defeated Manchester 37-30. I'm going to refresh my browser here. There's nothing. Oh, we did have New Britain beating Platt 49-14. Enfield defeated Bristol Central 30-26. South Windsor won a shootout. East Hartford just can't wait for basketball season. 60-38 over East Hartford. Nothing yet on Simsbury Connor. Berlin 35, Farmington nothing. E.O. Smith 24, Bristol Eastern 8, and the big one, Wethersfield putting itself in the race 35-12 over the Dragons. That's two straight for the Dragons.
Yep.
Interesting. And who beat them last week? I don't even remember now.
South Windsor.
That's right. There you go. Good job.
Mhm.
Convincingly. And that's a convincing
That's what I
one
got
right
paid
there,
for.
too. Yeah, right. God, we brought you up. Also, Southington knocks off, tied for number 4, Windsor. 28-7. Sophomore Ben Bolio, 3 touchdowns, 150 yards. Amazing job. That's Windsor's first loss since the Class AA championship. And they were looking like untouchable until you get Southington come to 10. Or no, they were at their spots, right? Yeah. So in the CTC, Cheney Tech 17, Platt Tech 14. Send all your thank you notes to Tony Benito, care of Cheney Tech High School, if you were trying to get into the Class M playoffs, because that kind of puts Platt out. Bullard Havens and Thames River, no score yet. In the ECC, Killingly 63, NFA 27. Waterford defeated Wyndham 28-20, 28-12. And we have what was Griswold again? I don't have the score, but
They won
34-21. Griswold in a big game that's going to decide where Class S goes down the road. And that is probably one spot left in Class S. Tough division. It's going to be Ansonia and one of these two, perhaps. We'll see how the rest of it goes. But the North Branford one, that was a big one from them. It's going to stay above the line there. And the FCIAC, Darien 35, Ridgefield 14. The Marinelli less number 1 ranked New Canaan Rams 28. Staples nothing. So the defensive coordinator still took over as head coach for the day. Does that goes on? Whose record does that go on?
Chris Silvestri's.
Does it?
Yes. Lou Marinelli did not coach in the game.
When Eddie McCarthy was out, we still counted that for Eddie.
That's incorrect.
I don't think so. I think because you're the head coach, you're running the program, just because you're not on the field for like a game. I mean, if you're not the head coach, then it doesn't count for you. But you're the one who sensibly runs the program. I'm interested in people's thoughts on that one. I can see it both ways, certainly.
Yeah.
But I remember at the time, because Eddie had a stretch where he was out for a week or two or a day or two. I don't remember specifically, but that debate did come up.
Is Jerry DeSimon who you're watching?
Well, Jerry's certainly arbiter of that. So anyway, I'm just curious.
I would ask if Ned is watching, but Ned's probably driving home still from Wilton.
Ned just texted me actually. He wanted to know. Let's see. What did Ned want to know?
Just information.
He wants info. Nothing.
Yeah.
I got. Thames River game ended due to injury. That's what he's saying. I don't know anything about that. Interesting. I don't know. I know they did forfeit a game early in the year. So Trumbull defeated McMahon 35-6. Oh, I jumped ahead tonight. No, yeah. Wilton 7, Greenwich 3, Trumbull 35, McMahon 6. In the NVL, Oxford 14, Crosby nothing, Torrington 41, Wolcott 12. Nothing from St. Paul Derby yet. Nothing from Wilby Kennedy yet.
Someone commented that St. Paul won 21-14 in overtime.
Wow. All right. St. Paul had to postpone their Noggy game due to roster issues. They didn't have enough players, and they erred on the side of caution. Come back against Derby with a big win, so that's good for St. Paul. Nothing on Wilby Kennedy yet. Ansonia 42, Watertown nothing. Seymour, Raleigh's, Bass, Naugatuck, big game to stay unbeaten, 33-28 in alliance games. Yeah, we're still doing alliance games. Yeah, I have a lot of teams this year, and they're still playing. East Lyme 17, Stratford 7, Nottawalk 41, Weston 6, North Haven 35, New London 6. Notre Dame Prep breaks their losing streak 49-7 over East Haven. And West Haven also snaps their 3-game slide, West Haven, right? Because they lost to Prep, then they lost to Cheshire, then they lost to Amity. Breaks their slide. They needed that, and they're back in the race. West Haven 39, Fitch 18. In the Pequot, nothing Coggins MSW yet. Granby Canton defeated Capital Prep 48-0. Haddam Killingworth 55. Windsor Lux 12. North Branford, big win for their Class S hopes, 54-28 over Creek. Weaver, Hartford Public Classical 34, Coventry, Wyndham Tech, Bolton 0. Commonwealth, Portland, SMSA, we don't have a score yet. And in the SEC, Cheshire continues its win streak, 5 straight now, knocking off Sheehan 14-7. Sheehan 5-game win streak comes to a close. Hand defeated Fairfield Prep 20-17. Foreign beat Harding 14-7. Guilford rallied past Amity 15-13. Special teams played a huge part in that game, as you will see. Law beats Hamden 31-7. Lyman Hall 29. Brantford 8. They begin the stretch with a win. That's a big one. And now they get Guilford. Shelton gets off the deck, knocks off Notre Dame, puts a real big. I mean, Notre Dame's still in it because it's double L, but I was certain they were gonna get. Now Notre Dame's gonna have to hope a little bit and they're gonna win some games. But Shelton playing spoiler again late in the season. I'm sure they would rather, instead of playing spoiler, playing good football all the time and winning games. But hey, you take what you can get and maybe move on to the next year. And Xavier 28, Hillhouse 21. In the SWC, Brookfield 50, New Milford 21. Benell 32 was the Roddy Ricketts show. 32-13 over Pomperog. Newtown 57, Bethel 0. And nothing yet on Barlow and Massac. Pete, any thoughts?
I'm really intrigued to see what the poll is going to look like on Monday.
Yeah. What do you do?
Really interested. I'm moving Wilton up to 2.
I had Wilton at 3. I think
I had him at 4.
Right,
so I'll move him up to 2.
Right.
But
no, I had Wilton at 4 because I had Greenwich and Killingly above them.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what's going to shake out. Hand's going to move up, but obviously, yeah, you move them above Prep because they beat Prep. They both have 1 loss, and like Cheshire's still not in the top 10.
No, Cheshire's you guys got to go Cheshire a little love. They're winning some games. They're doing it. That's people want Woodland. People want Woodland. And I was reading the comments on the reel last night.
Sorry, guys.
Right. I don't know. I mean,
it's not going to happen.
Well, that's it. We got work to do. So,
yeah, I gotta get my reel done. I gotta be up at 6 tomorrow.
Yeah. It looks like I got St. Joe duty tomorrow. St. Joe Ludlow.
Yep.
See what happens in that one. See if Ludlow's got anything left in the tank. You know, they certainly gave Grant a little bit of a scare until Grant pulled away. But no, man. That if St. Joe can win that game and go into the Wilton game on a little bit of a roll, or we'll see if Ludlow can, get their ship straightened a bit. Where is Ludlow anyway? Where are they in L? Yeah, they're in good shape. I mean, they're decent. Never mind. That's right. They got Staples. That's Staples. So St. Joe Staples for Ludlow. It's got the season's kind of right here.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you guys get healthy, maybe knock one of them off. You'll be in good shape. If not, beat Ward and kind of hope things break, because 2 losses, I'll put you at 4. And there are a lot of teams in this division that aren't going to be at 4. So that's going to be interesting for Ludlow. Remember, they were the 8th seed last year. So interesting. Do they? Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's the drive home. Hopefully you're all home safe and sound. Pete and I got to go do a little more work, and then we'll see you guys on the Meat Grinder on Monday.
It's going to be a wild show.
Crazy
so
night.
Much to talk about on Monday.
So much to talk about. We'll get all the information. We just, kind of just graze through it here. And then we kind of do all our info collection over the weekend. So great night of football. Lots to talk about. We'll see you there. Thanks, Danny, behind the scenes. And we'll see you on Monday.
Love you all.